Good morning and welcome back again to BPS. I hope you all are doing fine and all of you have nicely appeared for your APSC mains. Okay, Aro aji jihetu bohute gorom porise and today is the last day of your examination. So I wish all of you all the very best. And ji hokole 2025 or babe prepare kori asa, let me tell you that you don't need to study 2 or 3 newspaper for your exam. You can only stick to one newspaper, and we particularly are sticking to the Assam Tribune because you will get all the local news from the Assam Tribune, and those local news will help you build your answers. Okay, because they will because the local answers the local examples will be very relevant in case when you give examples in your answers. So that is why we are sticking to the local newspaper. Okay, so you can follow us every Sunday at 7 a.m. So the first news of today is the 22nd of July. We have the scheme. Himachal government rolls out the Shimla development plan. So what is the Shimla development plan? All these hilly areas now, because of very unplanned development, they have faced the wrath of the natural disasters. So we have seen that lot of flash floods had happened over the course of time, and because of these the hilly areas have now considered building a green development area. Okay, so construction will only be permitted on plots devoid of trees. You cannot deforest a particular area only to construct the houses. You can only build houses where there are no trees. So the cutting of trees, the felling of trees, the deforestation, all these will be banned in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and I am pretty sure it is going to be implemented in the other hilly regions as well, because of the recent flash floods and stuffs like that which have happened because of lot of man-made activities. Now, the area currently designated as Green Belt include forests bounded by the bypass and cart road, Nabha Forest, Fagli and Lalpani Forest, Bombli Forest, Himlan Forest, Khalini and Chota Shimla Forest area. These are certain forest areas. You don't need to mug up them. These are not going to come for your APSC, but in case if you are preparing for UPSC, this might be another added information. Now, these areas are retreat Mashopra Ban, which is the Tukra Andri, the Shiv Mandir Andri Dal and Giri, DPF Khalini, BCS Miss Chamber and Parimahal. These are certain places. Now, green areas and Shimla are the city's lungs, crucial for maintaining environmental balance and enhancing quality of life. They reduce pollution by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, controlling temperatures and mitigating the urban heat island effect. Now, this can be a very good question for your mains, because the question might also be asked in terms of the hilly areas, like how the hilly areas are preparing themselves in the course of the climate change, because now we know that the effect of climate change has been very prominent lately, and today also we are feeling the heat of this climate change. So what the hilly regions, what the development policies of the hilly regions have been doing to prevent this excessive heat and all these flash floods kind of natural disasters. Now, politics, we have AIUDF ask a center to ensure safety of Indian citizens in Bangladesh. Now, the recent news, as you all know, Bangladesh, now there are a lot of protests going on because the government has given a reservation for people who are descendants of the Mukti Bahini, and because of these the students from the Dhaka University, which started first only as a peaceful protest, have turned into a violent protest. Now, AIDUF President Badruddin Ajmal has written a letter to Prime Minister Modi and urges him to ensure the safety and security of Indian citizens, including students studying in violence hit Bangladesh and Indian businessman trapped there, and to evacuate them to India safely. Now, the situation has overturned very badly. Now, the entire Bangladesh is actually ripped in violence. It has spread from universities to universities, and the government is not taking any action to retrieve the bill. Okay, but the students have said that already there are 30% reservation already for different categories, and now if they are going to introduce another set of reservation for descendants of the Mukti Bahini, then the general students who are very large in number, they are going to be left only with a margin full of numbers, which is very less for any sort of or any sort of the employment sector. So as per news, what is happening, that entire violence has spread from university to university, and it is actually affecting the Indian citizens, who are doing business there, and also the Indian students who have went there for some study purpose or some research purpose, especially people from the fashion industry who go there to study, and so they have been stuck there. As per news, the violence started at the Dhaka and soon engulfed various cities. So far, dozens of people are killed. At this time, AIDUF is deeply concerned about the safety of Indian citizens trapped there. Now awards. Ananda Bhaduri of Guwahati clinches gold in Maths Olympiad. Ananda Bhaduri, who is of Guwahati, one of the prodigies in the 6-member team representing India, has clinched gold in the International Mathematical Olympiad. The team achieved as outstanding results, securing 4 medals, a silver medal, and an honorable mention, marking India's first ever 4th place finish among 108 participating countries in the 65th edition of the Olympiad held in Bath, UK. Now Diljit Singh receives international award. Now Diljit Singh, president of the Gurdwara Dubri Sahib, and Kawal Kaur, president of Gurdwara Sri Guru Singh Sahib Guwahati, has been awarded the International Excellence Award London for their contributions of promoting social and cultural causes for betterment. These are certain awards. You may just simply write them down, just one note, because this might come in your next year prelims. Now, recognition. Indian Army honors parents of Kargil hero Captain Jintu Gogoi. Now, the Indian Army's Spear Corps honored the parents of Kargil War hero Captain Jintu Gogoi, Veer Chakra recipient, at their home in Golaghat ahead of Kargil Vijay Diwas. So, we know that on July 26th, we celebrated Kargil Diwas. Now, Captain Gogoi, known for his bravery during Operation Vijay in 1999, was posthumously awarded for leading a crucial assault despite heavy enemy fire, ultimately sacrificing his life. So, this may be a very good question for you, which is Operation Vijay in 1999. He was part of the operation and he died while defending his country. So, he was given the Veer Chakra recipient. Okay, he was awarded with the Veer Chakra. Next, we move on to Nakul Kurmi nominated for Dronacharya Award. Now, the next section also talks about certain awards, which is Nakul Kurmi, respected figure from Balipara in Sonapur district, has been nominated for prestigious Dronacharya Award for 2024 by the Medhi Dharmanidhar Gunatlata Trust of the Assam State Primary Teachers Association. So, Kurmi has a background as a primary school teacher and currently serves as headmaster of Horu Potgaon LP School. Now for sports, we have new committee of ASPA formed. The All Assam Sports Pensioners Association formed a new committee at their recent annual meeting at Guwahati Town Club, and led by President Badal Thakur, they discussed annual reports, elected new officials like Vice Presidents Vijay Hazarika and Deepdhar Barua, and outlined plans for advancing sports in Assam, with CM Himanta Biswa Sarma expressing support for their initiatives. Now Assam's history is India's national asset. Now, article by R.S. Mushahari highlights the historical richness of Assam, emphasizing its importance as a national asset within India. Now, this is a very important article for you to read it. Okay, now what this article says, this article is written by R.S. Musahari, and he says that the historical richness of Assam, it emphasizes the importance of the national asset within India. Now it's critique the absence of a well-defined historiography of ancient Assam, holding nothing that much of its history is derived from the folk literature and mythological narrative. Now in this context, let me tell you that we have also recently designed a very good documentary. The trailer will be released soon, and this documentary is based on the ancient history of Assam, because we have searched everywhere. We have not got any relevant materials for students to study regarding the history section, especially the ancient history of Assam. So whatever the books have been designed so far is only for the exam purpose, but these books are very boring, very tedious, and all sorts of informations have been plugged in, and all students need to do is to mug it up. But this is not encouraged in terms of any kind of exam, especially we don't encourage students to study like that. So we want the learning experience to be taken taken to a different level. So we have met all professors from different people from different places of the state. We went to meet the professors of different universities, and we have collected relevant materials to understand about the ancient history of Assam. And that is why we have, after clubbing all these informations together, we have made a very beautiful documentary. The trailer will be released soon, so I hope you all will like it. Okay, now its critique the absence of a well-defined historiography of ancient Assam. Nothing that much of its history is derived from folk literature and mythological narrative. So what this article is speaking that the ancient Assam's history is mostly derived from the mythological narrative. What Ramayana said about Assam, what Mahabharat said about the Pragjotishpur. So these are the mythological narrative that we have about our own state, but it lacks, it's more or less lacks the historiography, that is the written history of this place. Like if the history is ever written by some historian or somebody who was living at that point of time, or some traveler, or something like that. A little bit about the Kamrupa we get from Hyun Sang, who visited Bhaskar Varman, but prior to that all narratives of this place has been written in the mythology. So we get lot of information from the mythological narrative. Musahari's book Rediscovering History of Assam, the Country of Circle, aims to rectify this by presenting Assam's history as a vital component of India's cultural tapestry. Okay, so we have the Country of Circle, which is written by Musahari. So he says that he is rewriting the history of the Assam from the ancient part that most of us didn't know about. So if you get any chance, you can read this book. The narrative spans from the ancient migrations of groups like the Boros, or the establishment of enduring Ahom dynasty by Sukafa. So it talks about the settlement of the indigenous people, the Boro. The Boros are considered to be indigenous inhabitants of this place. So they were there before the migration of the Ahoms. So from that period of time to the settlement of the Ahom dynasty, it speaks about everything. It underlines how Assam's integration with Aryan culture, the adoption of Hinduism, contributed significantly to its assimilation with mainstream India. Ultimately, Musahari argues that understanding Assam's history is crucial for comprehending India as a whole. Now, business and economy. Congress remained mute spectator to economic destruction, ex-finance minister says this. So, former Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar criticized the Congress leaders' UPA government, accusing its member of being passive witness to the severe economic deterioration during their tenure. He highlighted the term skewflation. So, this is a term that you need to understand, which is called as skewflation, coined by ex-CEA Kaushik Basu, emphasizing that India's current economic challenge cannot be addressed solely through monetary policy but require targeted intervention. So you have to write the terms like skewflation, stagflation, inflation, all these kind of economic terms. Then on the 23rd of July, we had farmers to burn BJP's effigies on August 1. Samyukta Kisan Morcha and Kisan Majdoor Morcha said they will burn effigies on August 1 and hold tractor marches across country on the farmers' demand, including a legal guarantee of MSP for crops. So this was the news, but overall, the issue of the farmers have not settled yet. So they are still demanding the maximum, which is the minimum support price. So they are demanding the minimum support price on certain crops. Now, not all crops are provided with minimum support price, but the basic ones. But the problem is that there are two sides of the same story. Now, if you guarantee MSP, it actually guarantees the security of the farmer. Like he is going to cultivate, he is going to have a large number of production. But in case if there is any kind of a disaster or stuffs like that, if the market flows down, if the cost of the production goes down, then what happens? If the market value goes down, then at least the farmers have some sort of a minimum support price to guarantee. But there is also a lopsided of this, that if the government gives minimum support price to the crops, then the farmer, they tend to have an overproduction of this. Okay, because they know that this production is not going to be sold below this price. So that is why they go and they produce more and more, and when they overproduce it, the value in the market, it goes down, and it becomes very difficult for government to regulate those prices. And then when it goes really down, most of the crops, they end up in the warehouse, they end up in the storehouse, and then they are not utilized anymore, and then the crops are infected by pest. So these two things are of the same side of the story. There may be good side of the minimum support price, but there are also certain negative sides of the minimum support price. Now the Samyukta Kisan Morcha, you must have read this about in your class 12 when you have read the NCERT political science book. You must have read about the Samyukta Kisan Morcha, which is a larger organization of the farmers, and under it at least 32 different farmer organizations come under the Samyukta Kisan Morcha. So if you are studying about social movements, if you're studying about the civil society movements, then it becomes very important for you to study these farmer organization, and Samyukta Kisan Morcha is one of them. Now addressing a press conference, Kisan Mazdoor Morcha leader Sarwan Singh Pandey said the farmers Delhi Chalo March will complete 200 days on August and appeal on people to reach Kanori and Shambhu points on the Punjab and Haryana border. So the MSP, the farmer price, the farmer protest is still ongoing on these sectors. Next we have infrastructure. Guwahati Jal Board to provide water to 125,000 households by year end. The Guwahati Jal Board plans to supply water to over 125,000 households by the end of the year in a phase count roll manner. Minister Singhal announced a replacement of outdated municipal water supply system and incentives for low-income families to apply for connections. So we are going to have a new water supply connections in the city of Guwahati. Now, Jal Jeevan Mission was a mission which was introduced in the rural areas for people to have access to the clean drinking water. Now the Jal Board, they are having a new scheme for the infrastructure facilities of water supply in the cities. Now as you all know, the JICA plans, most of the JICA scheme or the plans which was initiated by the Asian Development Bank, and mostly it was in the close cooperation with the Japan. But still there are certain loopholes of this, that because the local contractors who use this, they have not done their work properly or something, or things like that, and it has affected a large number of populations. Many people have not got that connection. But those become like now the state government is also saying that we are going to introduce new scheme for providing the clean drinking water. Now Guwahati is facing a huge water crisis. Addressing a press conference, Singhal said that in a phased manner, 15,000, 27,000 and 35,000 new household will receive water. So this is a new development in terms of the infrastructure. Now on health, we have Safai Apnao Bimari Bhagao campaign of the GMC underway, which is Safai Apnao or Bimari Bhagao. The Guwahati Municipal Corporation launched Safai Apnao and Bimari Bhagao campaign aimed at enhancing sanitation and hygiene across Guwahati. The campaign will span of 60 days. So Safai, why Safai? Because this is the season of lot of ailments. You get infected, you can get infected by malaria and stuffs like that, or smallpox or things like that. So these are all because especially the malaria and the dengue, it happens because when you store water somewhere and you don't clean those pots which are filled with water, and then there are many health issues related with the lot of unhygienic water and unhygienic places. So the Guwahati Municipal Corporation says that we are going to launch this Safai Apnao Abhiyan. Now promote hygiene, focus on improving the cleanliness to prevent diseases so that we don't catch any disease. Eradicate disease includes activities designed to boost public health. Amar jate bemar nohoy he bhabe eplak notunke Guwahati Municipal Corporation koribol loise. Now on infrastructure, Aizawl to become the 4th state capital of Northeast India to have rail link by next year. So Aizawl has become the 4th state. Aizawl, the capital of Mizoram, is set to become the 4th state capital to have a railway link by July 2025. This will add to connectivity of Guwahati, Agartala and Naharlagun, which are already linked by rail. So Assam was already linked by rail. Then came Tripura. Then we have Arunachal. Now we are having Mizoram. Now just because Northeast India was so underdeveloped at that point that the ministry or the union ministry didn't even think of building railroads few years back. Now because of China's aggression in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and because of such importance of the northeast region in terms of having connectivity or building connectivity with the ASEAN states, or having a roadmap towards building a better look-is policy, now the Indian government is funding a lot of money to build infrastructure in these areas. But before 2014 or 2010, no such development policies were initiated in these regions. Now there is also one theory which says that why the Indian government didn't build any kind of infrastructure facilities in states like Arunachal Pradesh and all, because the China was already having an aggressive policy in the state of Arunachal, and so Indian government thought that if they are going to build roads in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, it is going to even it is going to facilitate the coming of the Chinese into the state of India. But now the India's government stance has actually changed over the past few years, and the government has taken important steps to say that it is not the way around, but because we also need to apply our aggression in our own places to show the Chinese that this is actually our place, not your place. Now next we have is a Boiravi Sairang railway project. This is the name of the project. The new broad gauge line will connect Boiravi near Assam's Hailakandi district with the Sairang near Aizawl. So this can be a question for you to practice in your next year prelims. Okay, one liner question. The project involves construction of 52-kilometer rail line with multiple tunnels and bridges. The line is divided into 4 sections of Boirabi, Hortoki, Kaunpui, which is Kaunpui, Mualkhang and Mualkhang Sairang. I hope I am pronouncing the names correctly. This railway project is a major step in improving infrastructure, economic integration in the northeast region of India. Next we have is the history revisiting Kargil conflict. Now India will mark the 25th anniversary of the Kargil conflict. This conflict, which occurred in 1999, was a significant event in Indo-Pak relations and military history. Now the background: Pakistani troops secretly entered the Kargil sector in October-November of 1998, taking advantage of India's temporary winter withdrawal from high altitude post. Okay. Now, this intrusion occurred despite ongoing peace efforts, including Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's historic visit to Lahore and the Lahore Declaration in February 1999. Now, the conflict details we have is Operation Ko-Paima. Pakistan's operation aimed to block India's National Highway 1 and compel India to negotiate over Kashmir. Now, surprise and response. India was initially caught off guard, mistaking the intruders for militants rather than regular troops. The conflict escalated into full-scale military engagement, with India focused on recapturing the occupied post. Now, post-conflicts development, we have Kargil Review Committee, which was formed in 1999 to review the conflict's causes and outcomes. The committee identified intelligence failures and made recommendations for future security measures. Now, I'm not sure if this is an intelligent failures, because intelligent failures is a very rare occasion, but yes, this might happen. But what I'm saying, as far as I have read the reports, or as far as I have heard people talking about it, the experts talking about it, it was not a intelligent failure reports, but it was more because of a administrative red tapeism. So because of filing of the files and passing of files and all, this took a lot of turn, and it took a lot of days for things to process, and this is the exact reason why the Pakistani forces came down and attacked the Kargil post. Now, ongoing tensions. Now, despite military setbacks, Pakistan continues to engage in proxy warfare against India, as evidenced by recent terrorist attacks. Now, books like From Kargil to the Coup by Nasir Zehra have provided deeper insights into the Kargil conflicts. So, these are some certain books that you can read, From Kargil to the Coup by Nazim Zehra. These are the books which you might be interested in reading. Next, we have AST Award. Now, Jugal Kishore Ram Dulari Malpani Journalism Award presented. Now, Jugal Kishore Ram Dulari Journalism Award were presented at the Rupkuar Jyoti Prakash Agarwala Smriti Bhavan in Dhemaji. The awards recognize outstanding contributions to journalism and the society. So this is just a award. So Dilip Kumar Hazarika, he received the senior journalist and writer. Now Umesh Kandelia, he is also the senior journalist and a social worker. Hemanta Bes, who is a young journalist from Lakhimpur. And award details: each recipient received a citation, a cash prize of rupees 100,000 and a Rajasthani turban. Now 24th budget. First budget of Modi 3.0 government presented. Now highlights of Modi 3.0 government's first budget, which is income tax relief. Now standard deduction increased from rupees 50,000 to rupees 75,000. Tax slabs adjusted 5% for income between 3 to 7 lakhs and 10% for income between rupees 7 to 10 lakhs. So new income tax slab. So income tax there has been a standard deduction, but only for rupees from up to rupees 50,000 to rupees 75,000. Next we have is 15% for income between rupees 10 to 12 lakhs, and deductions for pensioners is increased from rupees 15,000 to rupees 25,000. So tax savings, salaried employees can save up to rupees 17,000 on income tax. But there has been certain changes in capital gain tax, like for short term gains you have 20% you have to pay, and for long term gains you have to pay 12 to 5% for certain assets. So long term it has been increased from 10% to 12.5, and short term it has increased from 15% to 20%. Now angel tax, which has been abolished for boost startups. Now corporate tax has been reduced for foreign companies, and customs duties has been reduced on mobile phones and part for 15%. So these are certain tax slabs or certain tax adjustments. If you are interested, you can read them out, but mostly these are just a point of data which you just need to present in your writing. So these are not the question will never be directly asked on the tax slabs, but it is more or less making an analysis of the budget or the analysis of the income tax in India. Now budget focus area, we have priorities, we have employment sector, skilling, MSME, and support for the middle class. Now I don't know the support for the middle class, where the support for the middle class is, but yes, for employment sector and for the MSME sector, now the government is giving more priority. For the economic growth, now fiscal deficit targeted to be reduced from 4.9% of GDP to below 4.5%. Now why fiscal deficit has been reduced? Because of two things. Firstly, India's exports have actually risen. Okay, this is a good news which was presented in the economic survey, that India's exports have risen tremendously. So that is why the fiscal deficit have reduced to a great extent. Now this budget aims to address rural distress, promote job creation, and stimulate economic growth through targeted tax reforms and infrastructure investment. Now allocation for northeast states has increased. Now total allocation, the northeastern states receive an increased allocation of something this crore, and special financial assistance has been given to the flood affected states. Next, India Post Payment Bank, over 100 new branches of the India Post Payment over 100 new branches of the India Post Payment Bank will be established to enhance banking accessibility. Now, Department of Budget has increased. Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has been given more. The promotion of industry and internal trade and health and family welfare. So, the government is giving importance to the health sector, to the industry and the internal trade, and also to agriculture and the farmers welfare. Next, we have union budget and the agri sector. Now, increase allocation for agriculture infrastructure. We have funding the boost for significant funds are allocated for improving irrigation, rural roads, and cold storage facilities. Now, Assam needs enhanced irrigation and infrastructure are crucial for Assam, given its dependence on seasonal rainfall and vulnerability on flooding. These improvements aim to stabilize crop production, reduce post-harvest losses, and improve market access. Now, new scheme, introduction of a scheme to support small farmers with financial aid for modern farming techniques, high quality seeds and fertilizers. And this initiative could significantly benefit Assam's small scale farmers by providing access to advanced technologies. Okay. Now, research funding, there is also another increased investment in terms of agricultural research. So, enhanced funding for agricultural research, advanced crop varieties for pest management and for soil health. and this investment could lead to development of resilient crop varieties suited to Assam's climate and improve pest control and soil management practice. Then we have promotion of the organic farming definitely, and the organic subsidies. And then Assam's advantage is that Assam's climate and the biodiversity is very well suited for the organic farming. So once if the government once the government provides subsidies and cluster subsidies for people to harvest in the form of the organic farming, then definitely it will help the state. Now new financial products, which is improve access to the credit, that means how much of a loan you can get. So introduction of a new financial products and incentives to alleviate the financial burden on farmers and encourage investment in agriculture. So the new scheme of how to take loans for the agriculture sector, so this has been newly designed, so it's so that it is more or less it is more farmer friendly. Now easier access to credit can help Assam's farmers invest in modern equipment and infrastructure, potentially boosting farm productivity. Now educational. College of Education Moregaon X Corporation MOU with US institution. An interactive session was held on Monday at the seminar hall of the College of Education Moregaon, where they have the Department of Zoology, ex-director of the CDC and a member of the NARC monitoring committee. They have established an MOU, which is Memorandum of Understanding, with UMA Global Inc., New York and the College of Education. So both of them have established an MOU, which is Memorandum of Understanding in terms of the education. So it is going to have a big boost for the Moregaon education. The MOU is aimed at exchanging field experience on environmental science and art and culture among the students of both the institutions. For that purpose, there will be provision of migration of meritorious students between the two institutions. So the students from Moregaon, they can also visit the institutions at the USA for study of the future environmental sciences of art and culture. So it's a good initiative which has been taken by the college. Okay. They will provide guidance and leadership in the field of environmental science and art and culture respectively, and aid distributed. And meanwhile, the cotton class of 75, a group of graduates batch on Monday, donated relief packages for the flood victims of the Moregaon district. Now for education, we have Kokrajhar Government College upgrade to Kokrajhar University. Official upgrade. Kokrajhar Government College has been officially upgraded to Kokrajhar University following the Kokrajhar University, which received gubernatorial assent on March 15, 2024. Now this upgrade is seen as a major milestone for higher education in the region, promising enhanced educational opportunities and academic excellence. Kokrajhar University will offer a variety of undergraduate and postgraduate programs, significantly improving higher education prospects in the area. Now employment. Project Navigator for grade 3 and grade 4 aspirants has been launched. So if you are appearing for grade 2 and grade 3 or for grade 3 and grade 4, you can go and enroll yourself here. The Dibrugarh District Education, in collaboration with the DU Academic Council, has launched a free coaching initiative named Navigator for grade 3 and grade 4 posts. The project aims to provide free guidance and resource to help aspirants prepare for the grade 3 and 4 examinations. Now coaching will be available at 20 centers across the districts, and these centers will offer support including valuable materials and insights into the exam pattern to boost aspirants' confidence and preparation. Now for railway, we have Centers Trust to upgrade of railways. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav announced that the union budget has allocated 10,376 crore for railway development in the Northeast, a significant increase from previous years. He highlighted ongoing projects including 1,368 km of new infrastructure and the redevelopment of 60 stations with electrification, which is expected to be very soon. Now, the Bihar Assembly on Wednesday passed a bill aimed at curbing the scourge of question paper leaks. The Bihar Assembly passed a Bihar Public Examinations Bill to combat exam malpractice and question paper leaks. The bill imposes severe penalties including 3 to 5 years imprisonment and rupees 10 lakh fines for individuals and up to rupees 1 crore fines for service providers. That means if you are involved in any kind of malpractice in Bihar for the examinations, and if you are caught, then you can be fined up to 1 crore as a service provider and up to 3 to 5 years of jail imprisonment. It mandates that investigations to be led by officers no lower than the deputy superintendents of police. And this legislation follows recent controversies, including the NEET scam, the BPSC paper leak cases, and aligns with stricter anti-paper leak laws in other states. Now, what's in budget for women? The recent union budget allocated for rupees 3 lakh crore for women's development, focusing on setting up working women hostels and increasing creche to support working mothers. So, this is a budget which is discussing about women, that you are providing that the owners should be providing the creche to support the working mothers, because it becomes really difficult to manage or balance between a working woman and also a mother. Key schemes include the Mahila Samman certificate offering up to rupees 2 lakh deposits, and Mahila Udyan Nidhi providing loans up to 10 lakh for women empowerment. The Lakhpati Didi scheme aims to create financially independent women through self-help groups, and however implementation, especially in Northeast, challenges effective monitoring and gender sensitive budgeting are essential to ensure these initiatives. Now, environment. Thousands of women take part in huge peace rally at Haflong. Now, thousands of women participated in a peace rally at Haflong, highlighting the environmental concerns over stone mining in the Muduki area of the Kamrup. Now, the All Adivasi Students Association has submitted a memorandum urging the minister and district commissioner to halt the mining activities, because the mining affects the environment and the soil quality, and it might lead to even displacement of a large number of people. It is also threatening the local ecosystems and endangering the species. They also call for action against illegal sand mining and timber smuggling in the region. And additionally, concerns were raised about the degradation of Chandubi's forest and the lack of enforcement by the forest officials. Sports. Mirabai Chanu eyeing historic second medal in another long-range effort. Indian weightlifter Saikhom Mirabai, the only weightlifter representing India at the Paris Olympics, aims to win back-to-back medals after her silver in Tokyo, and she is known for her strength and agility. Now, tribute and awards. Tribute paid to poet Allocation Kalita. Now, who is Allocation Kalita? A tribute event was held at the Guwahati Town Club Hall to honor Allocation Kalita, a young poet who passed away on April 19, 2024. The key highlights include: the event featured the launch of the anthology titled Allocation, edited by poet Kushal Datta and published by the Purvayan Publishers. The anthology includes prose, poems, and pictures contributed by over 50 notable literary figures, friends, and family, and formation of AK Foundation Trust. And then Kalita's family announced establishment of AK Foundation Trust, dedicated to supporting causes such as arts and humanities and children's education and mental illness. Now, butterfly and biodiversity tray yields discovers in Dihing Patkai, which is from the Environment News. The second edition of the Butterfly and Biodiversity Trail recently concluded at Dihing Patkai National Park and surrounding forest reserves, showcasing the region's rich ecological diversity. Now, the event we have is it was held at Soraipung, Loki Pothar, and Mamoroni forest reserves. The trail attracted 32 participants from Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. The event aimed to promote sustainable ecotourism. Okay, and butterfly discoveries. The butterfly discoveries. Participants documented at least 153 butterfly species on the first day, including 12 rare or uncommon species. Now, bird species recorded included the sultan-tip, grey pheasant, red-hooded Trojan. Sightings of elephants and hoolock gibbon were also reported. So, these are the names of some of the bird species. So, in case if there is a question on prelims in the next year about what does these terms mean, so you can definitely write they mean actually certain birds. Next we have is from the 26th of July, we have lecture on philosophy, sociology of Srimanta Shankardev. The annual lecture commemorating the 6th death anniversary of Hotradikar Bhadra Krishna Goswami was held at the Guwahati Press Club. Okay, and the sociology of Srimanta Shankardev, discussing the philosophy of Shankardev. Now including the concepts like the Brahman, Paramanda, Nirguna and Saguna, and his contributions to social sustainability. The event featured a traditional Kshatriya dance by Ananya Mahanta and the unveiling of a portrait of Srimanta Shankardev by Russian artist Vladimir Trochin, inaugurated by Mrinalini Devi, and key figures such as Mitali Goswami Trochin, Divya Rekha Goswami and Hemanta Bijoy Mahanta also participated. Now politics, PM to visit Kargil today. So on July 26, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the Kargil War Memorial to honor soldiers who sacrificed their lives during the Kargil War. He will also virtually inaugurate the first blast of the Shinkunla Tunnel project. Now this project involves constructing 4.1 kilometer twin tube tunnel at an altitude of approximately 15,000 feet of the Nimupadun Darcha road, and once completed it will be world's highest tunnel, improving all weather connectivity to Leh and aiding both military logistics and regional development in Ladakh. Now SMSS status protest. What is this? It is about an environment and displacement news. On July 25th, the Hotromukhi Hongram Committee held a 4-hour sit-in protest outside the Dhubri District Commissioner's office. The demonstrators aimed to address severe erosion and flooding caused by the Brahmaputra, Gangadhar and their tributaries. Now protesters called for permanent solutions and criticized both the state and central government for inadequate measures and funding. And Ashraful Islam of Raijo Dal supported the protest, highlighting the displacement of thousands due to flood and lack of financial aid for Assam compared to other states like Andhra Pradesh and Bihar. So these were the news from 22nd of July to the 26th of July. There was not much important news to cover in this week, but there were like 2 or 3 important news. First is the Kargil Diwas, which is important for your next year prelims, because you might have answers, you might get questions from this. And then there is one, the butterfly trail, because there are number of new species of butterflies discovered, birds discovered, and those names may be very important, which might come in your 2025 prelims. So these are important news. And then there are certain books which was written. For example, the book which is written on the Assam history, that book is really important, so this also might come as a question for your 2025 prelims. Okay, so not much important news was there in this week, but still for next week we hope that there are few important articles which will be there for us to cover. So hope you all are doing fine, and since today is your last day of your examinations, I hope you all are going to enjoy your holidays before the release of the mark sheets. Okay, so once the result is there, and then we again have to prepare for interviews and stuff like that. And let me tell you, we also have a free interview session. We will be conducting a free interview, which is mock interview session. You don't have to pay us, but it is mostly a free session. So in case if you really want to practice the interview session, if you want to participate in the mock interview sessions, we are going to give you the details of it very soon, and you can register yourself. It's a free session, you don't have to pay for it. Okay, so till then, take care and all the best.